For more on the legal side of this story, we're bringing in Misty Marris, legal analyst and trial attorney. Misty, thanks so much for being here tonight.
Oh, thank you, Natasha.
Okay, so there's a lot to digest here. Can I first get your overall reaction to this terrible discovery and what we know about the suspect and his history?
What a grisly, grisly case to think of finding these dismembered body parts. And look, this was somebody who is becoming a criminal justice advocate who was on a very popular podcast, Joe Rogan, speaking out about the criminal justice system. To then see this, it's just truly, truly shocking. And I'm a New Yorker. And to see a story like this happening in New York City, I mean, it's stunning.
Yeah, for it to stand out in a city like that, it really, really means something. And by all accounts, it really sounds like he was turning his life around. Have you ever seen someone like this who was considered a champion of rehabilitation reverting back to a life of crime?
Well, that's something that is in the criminal justice system. The fiber of it is rehabilitation. And look, that's a focus and a focal point. It's something that is what Johnson was speaking about with getting these resources behind bars, getting education, finding spirituality. All of those resources are available for that purpose. But some just do not find a way to turn it around or tend to fall back into a life of crime. And this particular case is stunning because not only do we hear about the shooting, we hear about dismemberment, and it's very, very calculated. In addition to finding these body parts, there's also video showing Johnson multiple times entering and exiting the building in disguises, carrying the blue bin that a torso was recovered from. So it seems that he definitely fell back into his old ways. And we do know he had gang connections. He very publicly spoke about that. So the motivation behind this is the mystery right now.
Yeah. And do you think that his history prior to his incarceration or his apparent reforms after prison could legally affect his case here?
Definitely. So there's two factors that will be important. And whatever happens if he goes to trial, I mean, he's pled not guilty. I don't know what his story will be because it seems to be there's a lot of objective evidence here. But of course, innocent until proven guilty. So to that end, if he is found guilty, all of those factors will become very relevant in sentencing. They will present mitigating factors on the defense side and will likely go back and talk about all of the hurdles that he has overcome, and some of which were behind bars and the time that he spent in turning his life around. Now, the prosecution will also take a criminal history and say that the sentence should be harsher because this is a person who had an opportunity to turn their life around, but fell back into a life of crime and in such a way that it's a grisly, grisly murder. So it certainly will be impactful in the courtroom.
You know, there is one more case we want to get your perspective on tonight. Ghislaine Maxwell, the former girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein who helped him sexually abuse teenage girls. She was convicted back in 2021, sentenced in 2022, and now she is set to appeal that conviction this week. Do you think she's agreed to cooperate with the government and prosecutors to bring down more people involved in that sex ring, or what can we expect this week?
You know, I always thought that she would be identifying others who were involved, but she never has. And she's maintained her innocence throughout the entirety of this case. So I don't know if she's going to come forward. I've always found it to be shocking. And we covered it, you know, we looked at every single document that was revealed when the Jeffrey Epstein documents were unsealed, and found it so stunning that there's never been any further prosecution of those that were involved in this ring or even identification of them. So sure, if she has knowledge, that could certainly help her. I don't know if she's going to come forward with anything. Again, she's maintained her innocence. I think what we can expect in the appeal is the arguments that have been made. There was a 2007 non-prosecution agreement that named Jeffrey Epstein and affiliates. She's not named in that document, but she's going to say that she should have never been prosecuted because that was binding. The second is a juror who sat on her jury who did not disclose that she was a victim of sexual abuse. So that's the two primary arguments that are being raised on appeal. I actually, Natasha, I don't think she's going to give any information until the appellate process plays out, because if she were to be successful on appeal, her conviction could potentially be overturned.
Yeah, and very quickly.
That's a high bar. That's a high bar.
It's a high bar, and very quickly, yes or no, Misty, of anyone living today, do you think she is the one with the most knowledge, the ability to crack this ring wide open? Many high-profile names, people could be taken down by this. Is she that person?
I mean, I think many of us, we all think so, right? She's been convicted of being Jeffrey Epstein's not only right hand, being a co-conspirator and being the one to groom and select these young women and put them into this prostitution ring. So seemingly she would be the one of the information of those who were utilizing Jeffrey Epstein's services. So look, she's been found guilty. Yeah. She seems to be the one who has all of the information, but she's never turned to law enforcement and shared that. So
okay,
for now, she maintains her innocence.
Misty Marris, always appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.